And another experience, one of these conversations, and I was watching a video, relaxing, was that, let's see, what was that? It had to do with power. And now I lost it. But another one would be, what if we all are experiencing only one emotion? Just one emotion. And there are different facets to that one emotion. Because, think about it. They say the opposite of love is hate. They say the opposite of joy is sadness. Kind of makes somebody wonder about it. Because the only thing that makes any experience different one from another is your perspective. So, spirituality is not just about seeking the divine. It is also about experiencing the divine. And that is what separates spirituality from religion. Spirituality has no doctrine. It has no dogma. It has no creed. But you could say it has a philosophy. Because my experience of God is, God can't be what's in those doctrines, because these conversations I have are very philosophical. Very philosophical. Power is the ability to influence. How are you influencing other people? And it's not about how you are influencing other people. It's about that emotion that's associated with the wielding of that power. That's spirituality. That's experiencing the divine. I like the word divine because it takes up more spaces on the computer. It is through these experiences, these spiritual experiences, that we seek, that we have, that we find the answers to those questions I asked each of you at the beginning. It's how we find those answers, is through that experience. Spirituality is all about experiencing God. You want a spiritual toolbox? Well, those tools are going to be all about experiencing the divine, experiencing something else, and discovering just who you are. Because I can tell you right now, all of you are more than you think you are. And some of you know that. And because you know that, you're fearful of that. Do you know why I know you're fearful of that? Because I am fearful of that too. And one of the things I've learned in this long travel is that if I come up with it, or I think of it, or I do it, or I ask those questions, somebody else is out there having that same experience, asking that same question, and seeking the same thing. All right, so let me see. Well, no, I picked on her enough right now. We'll come to Sandy. Oh, Sandy's writing. So she's saved by the pen. So I'll come to Sharon. I'll let Sandy finish what she's going to write and come to Sharon. What are your thoughts?
Well, I do kind of agree with you when you said we all hear more than than we think we are. And it is scary because with it comes responsibility. And if you're afraid of the responsibility, or if you're afraid of your own, if you're afraid that you don't know, or I don't know, whatever, you're afraid for whatever reason, you're going to back off. And I know I do that. I know I do. But I think probably most of us do this to some extent. You go with what's easy. You don't go with what you're not sure of. So, just in general.
Typically.
Yeah, typically. I mean, if you have a lot of confidence in your, I guess one day it could be a good day and you feel like you could take on that, and then the next day you just like, oh, I can't do that today. Not gonna happen.
Yep. How about you, Connie?
What?
What are your thoughts?
On what? And this part of that?
On all of it.
Comes great responsibility. Isn't that what they say in comic books?
Spider-Man!
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to be careful how you wield it. Yes.
Absolutely. And how about you, Beth? What are your thoughts?
Well, this just provides a lot of reinforcement to what I've, learned so far, and looking forward to learning, and just the staples, I guess. Well, there's your toolkit, so these nails are familiar, and it's nice to have that reassurance.
Okay. How about you, Sandy?
I agree with that. I think that it is the tools and the things that we touched on. I think are things that we already know, but we know them. They're there, but maybe we don't tap into them like we should. But I mean, the basics are. It's good to have those basics reinforced because I think sometimes they get lost.
Mm-hmm.
So you touched on a lot of things, but a lot of the ABCs, I think of it to start with. I liked it. I liked everything we talked about. It just made lots of sense. And it was not, like I said, reinforced. It's reinforced. Good way to start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling anybody anything they don't already know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we all need to be on the same page so we can move forward. And that's all this was about. What are your thoughts, Shay?
I like how this is starting.
Good. Excellent. Excellent. And one last word, spirituality is experiential. Now, our next class will be in a couple of weeks. I don't think I wrote down the date yet. But we will begin with meditation. It's something that we're all familiar with, but there's a whole lot more to it than one would think. And there are a couple of books I draw from for meditation. One of them is Buddhism in America. And the other one is a Tibetan book of living and dying. Now, my question is to you, would you like me to pick up at least one copy of each of these books that I will I will be suggesting and have them available here.
I'm gonna get my own.
Okay.
But thank you. Sure.
Okay.
I think I may have the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. I don't have the other one, I don't think, but I think I have that other one. I'll have to double check, but it sounds familiar.
Now, and well, I've used it as a resource quite often. But if you want to know more about spirituality, the best books to look into are those about the Buddhist philosophy, Taoism, a lot of those. Don't get into the ceremonies and the practices themselves, but the message. In my experience, those are the best books. Now, Thomas More's Care of the Soul is okay. Celestine Prophecy is okay. Well, Celestine Prophecy is a good book. I've experienced much of what he describes in it. Message from Down Under. That one's a good book. If you like story formats, it's kind of like the Celestine Prophecy. In this particular book, the author is said to go off with an Aborigine tribe in Australia. And they take away her shoes, her purse, her credit cards. And I think she goes with them for, I don't know, maybe a month. It's not a bad book. And in that book, she writes about how each member of this particular tribe takes a turn in leading the tribe to the necessities, water, food, and everything. And it comes her turn to lead the tribe. And you know what the first thought in her head is? Oh crap. What if I fail? Which is the first word that comes to a lot of your minds when you are attempting to do something or put in a position that you're not familiar with, that you're uncomfortable about. And it's all about trusting, not trusting the divine or something that's outside of you. It's not about trusting God or anything. It's trusting yourself. Because that's what it amounts to. That's what it boils down to, is trusting yourself. There is one huge teaching of Jesus that is very important. And that is that when you look at me, you see the Father. Because the Father is in me, and I am in you. That is the most important lesson to take from his teachings. The most important lesson, because you know what it tells you?
We're all divine.
More than that.
You are God.
Exactly. That was a key point of his teaching. And you won't hear anybody teach that one. And that's what you are about to discover. So, any comments or questions? Well, all right then. Let me see here. Sandy, would you like a message? You're welcome. And look at that, right on time. The camera has shut off.
Yay. Well done. Yay.
And that doesn't happen with me too often. All right. So our Our next class is going to begin with meditation. That's a long section, so it'll be broken up. So it'll take us a few sessions to get through, but we're going to do some different meditations with our eyes open, with the eyes closed. We'll do what Cabot Zen calls the raisin experience. And let me see here. Anything else I can think of that's tied in with that? We're going to learn about mind. So I will hopefully see all of you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Inspiration, I think you were the one that suggested a spiritual toolbox. I had to go online to figure out what that was, because I'm not familiar with that lingo. So,
Looking pretty good.
that's good. Presently I'm working on self-care. That might be interesting too.